Hello, welcome to Glazing with AMACO. This is Kara, and today I'm going to make a galaxy mug. So the galaxy effect is done with a base of Celadon C1 obsidian. You can also use a dark blue like PC12 Blue Midnight, or even like the Cobalt Celadon. So first I'm going to do a base coat with the obsidian. I'll use my fan brush. So it's also, I've also heard this called like a nebula effect, but mostly I hear it called Milky Way or galaxy. And I am going to add other glazes to it. And you'll notice I'm getting right down to the bottom and even getting a little bit on the foot. I'm going to clean that off. I don't wax the foot. It's just a preference. I'm kind of messy. And because I'm kind of messy, I tend to get wax all over the place, places that I don't want it. So I generally don't use wax because I don't want to get wax everywhere and then have to re-biscuit to get it off. Now, where I do use it is sometimes I'll use it with doing underglaze like Mishima. I like using wax for Mishima. But in that case, I just put wax everywhere. No worries about getting messy. So you might hear a sound there. Sorry about that. There we go. Got it all on the inside. So this dries fairly quickly. So I'm just going to wipe the bottom. The Celadons, including obsidian, are very, very stiff, so I don't have to worry about the glaze running. What I have to worry about running is the glazes that I'm going to put on top. So while the obsidian dries a little bit, I'm going to show you what I'm going to put on top. Smoky Merlot Pc 57 works great as a nice purple. Let's put that lid over there. Seaweed Pc 42 gives some kind of blue-green colors and has a kind of luster to it that I really like. And I'm going to add some stars. If I have a small enough brush, I'm going to add some stars with the V360 white underglaze on top of the glazes. So yeah, I have a small enough brush for that. This will work just fine. So make sure I don't have any lumps in my glaze. And there are other glazes that can also work really nicely for doing the galaxy effect. Indigo Float is fantastic. So is Textured Turquoise and Lustrous Jade are also some good greens. Those give some different effects. You can experiment. Some of the more transparent glazes, like Blue Rutile, it's really hard to get them to show up. You have to use a lot to get them to show up. Now, in this case, I'm only going to do 2 coats of the obsidian as my base. If I do 3, I'll get a very opaque base, but it may overwhelm the glazes that I'm going to put on top, and I have to go pretty thick anyway. And I am a very generous glazer in general, so 2 coats with the obsidian as a base for other layering is probably okay. Depending on what I'm doing, I might want to go 3, but so there we go. Now this glaze is a little bit, it's got some lumps in it. These are not oolites, they are just lumps where the glaze got a little dried out. Either way, they can be kind of mashed out or just brushed off. If they are oolites, I just brush them out before I fire. Although we are seeing less and less with the oolites as we've started adding a material that prevents them from growing. So far so good. As I said, these lumps are just lumps. So I've got my 2 coats of obsidian. So I'm going to put the brush in water, put the lid back on my Celadon obsidian, let that dry. So Smoky Merlot, I've seen a lot of people love to use this over obsidian or over Blue Midnight. And over Blue Midnight, it makes a really, really rich purple. If you do like 1, maybe 2 coats of Blue Midnight and then at least 2 heavy coats of Smoky Merlot over, it is a beautiful effect. Seaweed, keep in mind that seaweed is always going to be runny, so you don't want to put it where it's going to run right off of your pot. Be careful about that. Oh, another glaze that can make some nice effects is putting a little bit of cosmic tea dust on into your Galaxy mug, because it'll add just a little bit of sparkle. Sorry about that. So we're going to wait for this to dry, and I'm going to come back at 12:30, and I'm going to show you how I use the Smoky Merlot, the seaweed, and the V360 to create the Galaxy effect on the base of obsidian. If you have any questions for me today about this, or any suggestions, thoughts, please feel free to drop me a comment today, and I will answer it in part 2. I appreciate it, and thank you so much. See you later.